things are. Well, I'm going to start. It's 7:05. If you carry on arriving, please, you're very welcome. But we'll get rolling for this evening. So as I said, this evening is the Taste of Freedom. It follows on from the last 2 weeks. And last week in particular, Samudra Ghosha invited us to be living in the body, And really this is a continuation in many ways of living in the body. We really want to emphasize the in the heart, it can be in the mind. This is actually part of the body. This is actually the body here, wherever our momentary physical experiences. Just trying to connect with there. It's certainly, obviously, a very good thing to think. It's a very good thing to think clearly. But so often we can wander off. Thoughts can turn into stories and fantasies and somewhere else, the past, the present, the future. We get lost all over the place. So thinking goes on, and we want to have a connection with our thinking, but it's good to bring the thinking back to making sure, as it were, mind is here. Mind is a physical experience. And again, a word that Samudra Ghosha used was something like becoming more intimate with our experience. Thinking, again, is helpful, but it can take us away a little bit. But it's just that possibility of becoming detached with thinking, whereas this is here. So something like a healthy relationship with all that's going on within us. Healthy relationship between those gut things, those gut feelings that we have, sensations in the body, in the heart, and a healthy relationship with the mind, and all the wonderful processes that go on in the mind. So this evening, what I want to offer is, as it were, a further unfolding of that, a further unfolding of mindfulness. And that thing about mindfulness being not just something that's lost up here a little bit too technically, but mindfulness as an experience within the body. And think about unfolding. It's very often easy to think about a lotus unfolding, the petals of a lotus unfolding. So this is a way that mindfulness can unfold a little bit more with what we're going to follow this evening. So you can say mindfulness of body is one petal of a lotus. This is another petal of that lotus, but they're not separate. They flow together. And I'm going to be looking at a particular experience that we have. And I'm going to use a Buddhist word, and I want to emphasize the value of having this unusual Buddhist word, because it might be easy otherwise to over translate or explain too literally what we have when I use the more familiar English words. So what I am talking about is Vedana. Vedana. So as much as you can, see if you can keep returning to that word, and as it were, not knowing it, but starting to explore it, and not just jump too literally to what you think it might mean. So a new word can help in that way. What we're looking at is our feeling tone, our physical feeling tone. Or we could sort of also describe something like the flavour of our experience. The flavour of our experience. So this has a particular context in Buddhist in the Buddhist way of looking at it. What we're doing is bringing awareness to what is pleasant. We're bringing awareness to what is unpleasant, and awareness to what is in between those sort of neutral feelings. And what we talk about in terms of these pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feelings is just a first spontaneous moment of what might be physical within us. It might help if I give you some examples. So I've been going back over my week, just different examples that I might paint a bit of a picture. So, for example, early on this week, I heard a child's laughter. A just heard it, and something happened within me. Just straight away, you know, it was a hearing, but something happened inside me. At another point, there was a heavy lorry rumbling rather slowly, rather loudly past me. And I had a different response to that. Again, I heard it, but something else happened to me. At another point, a memory of a friend occurred. A memory of a friend came to me, and that had a flavour to it. That was just a momentary experience I had. And at other points, more than once during this week, I've had a certain physical sensation when I've remembered that I'm going to be on camera here tonight. And that has brought about a certain experience. I just thought, oh, I'm going to be sitting and looking at the camera and trying to present something, trying to keep going smoothly. So some of those experiences have been pleasant. Child's laughter, memory of a friend. Some of those have been unpleasant. So the lorry rumbling by, and that momentary slight awkwardness as my stomach tightened when I thought about being here on camera. Some of those sort of came from outside, the sounds from outside, and some were sort of inside, internal sorts of feeling. So these experiences, pleasant, unpleasant, or something not very much sort of neutral in between, we don't look at them from a Buddhist perspective as either good or bad, or right or wrong, because we're not really responsible for happening. We don't really make them happen. It's just like they just come. They're just things that happen to us. What we look at is really significant. Where the freedom comes from is what we do when we have that experience. And what we look at is quite often when something pleasant comes, we want to hold on to it. We want that pleasant experience to keep going. We want it to run for as long as possible. So we pull it towards it, or we try to hold on to it. When something unpleasant comes along, it's pretty natural, it's pretty simple thing to do, to react and push it away. So I want the memory of my friend to keep going and to keep going and keep going and recall that and stay with it. And the heavy, loud lorry rumbling past me, I didn't like it. I started to push it away. And freedom comes from the possibility of not reacting, not holding on to or trying to keep that pleasant or pushing away that unpleasant experience. What's curious that we might notice is that, strange enough, holding on, is trying to hold on to pleasant experiences, can rather spoil or tarnish the pleasant experience. We're having that pleasant experience, we hold on to it, and then we grip, and it's not quite what it was. We start to take it away, we start to limit it a little bit. And with that heavy lorry rumbling past me, well, I tried to push it away, and it sort of seemed to go on longer. It was more unpleasant. It was sort of almost louder, and it went on forever and ever. Partly, I think, because I was just trying to push it away. So that unpleasant experience, I think I made it worse by reacting and pushing it away. I wondered, this came to me a little while ago, about the delightful experience of a butterfly landing in one's hand. So you can't really make a butterfly land in one's hand. It's just one of those wonderful things that might happen. And then it might fly away, But if it lands, and I want that experience to stay, well, I'll hold on to that butterfly. And that'll be a very different experience, to the butterfly. And the pleasure will have gone, even if it was only a moment. I'll have taken that away a little bit. And it's like when dark clouds roll over, and I'm sort of looking for the bit of sunlight to come through, and it just doesn't work. It's like I'm not here with those dark clouds or here with that butterfly. I'm wanting to be somewhere else. I'm wanting to be in the future, having something else happening to me. And it doesn't work. Freedom is being present and experience both, whatever experience is going on, whatever, if it's pleasant or unpleasant. Freedom is just staying there. What's curious, of course, is pulling towards you, whatever you're pulling towards you, or pushing away, It's hard work. You have to start thinking and planning and working out, how can I keep this experience, or how can I push it away? And it becomes hard work. And I don't think it works. So we put a lot of effort into something that doesn't do the job, doesn't bring more pleasure, doesn't get rid of the unpleasant things. It's worth saying we can have some pretty strong unpleasant experiences. So we might touch something hot. We might touch the cooker while it's still hot. It's quite sensible. It's quite natural to react and pull the hand away. We might need to run our fingers underwater and cool it down. But the unhelpful reaction is when we start cursing and swearing and blaming someone for leaving the cooker on, or blaming myself for leaving the cooker on and saying, who did this and why did this happen? And there's something wrong about it. Reacting sensibly and looking after ourselves is okay. Reacting and getting into blame and a story and upset because it shouldn't happen to me, that draws out the pain, that draws out the unpleasant experience more. And we have a little bit of a Buddhist story. So imagine a dart. For some reason, a dart just catches you, sticks into you a little bit. As soon as that dart sticks in, it's unpleasant. It starts to hurt. It's not what we want. What we might do is then start saying, that shouldn't happen to me. Start blaming someone for doing it. Start cursing it. Start saying, this is wrong. Why me? It's bad. What we've done there is stick a second dart into us. A second dart of not wanting it and blaming and criticizing and getting bothered and upset by it. The first dart we may not be able to do much about. The second dart is a choice. The second dart is a reaction. Not sticking the second dart in gives us possibility for freedom. With Buddhism, we often find that one of the great ways to explore what we look at is through meditation. So now we're going to turn to meditating. We're going to have a meditation for about half an hour. I'm going to lead us through. We're going to have the Maitreyabandhu. Maitreyabandhu. So this loosely translates as cultivating loving kindness. As always, the original words are good because it's not quite the translation, but it's something like that. Cultivating loving kindness. I'll give you a brief guide to going through that. We'll have a little bit of a body scan first of all. So I encourage you to find a way whereby you can sit in as comfortable a position as you can for about half an hour. We'll have a body scan. We'll go through the body so that we can help ourselves arrive. During the meditation, of course, you are allowed to move. You don't have to sit rigidly holding one posture, not stuck in this position. If you start to get uncomfortable or cramp or pins and needles, you're allowed to move. You're allowed to stretch out, resit yourself so you're more comfortable and focused. I think I'm relaxed, but I might still move around myself. So I'd encourage you to gently close your eyes. You've been listening to me for a while, so a moment of letting things quieten. This might be the same for you. Because I'm been talking, my head is a bit busy. So I'm just going to give attention to my head and a bit of kindness to my head to let it slow down a bit. Just imagining thoughts settling, a bit less busy in the mind, and taking my energy down the spine, through the neck, the shoulders, and letting them soften. Letting the shoulders go down, and feeling the body breathing. The body moving as the breath rises and falls. allowing the breath to help us become a bit easier. We have the chest, our arms beginning to loosen in front of us, hanging a bit more softly. To our forearms and our hands. Noticing the sensation in the hands, maybe a bit warm. And with the body, have a bit of a tension. Noticing our clothes, touch of cloth on our body. And settling down into the hips and the groin. Be aware of us sitting. And all the strength in our legs. Maybe we notice a few moments of softening. We might still notice a bit of tension or pain. If we can be with that, just let it be. Through the legs to the feet. Our contact with the ground. Supported and comfortable as we sit. And all through the meditation we can return to our body. If we get lost in the meditation, if we get distracted, if it's a little bit difficult, just to return to the body, breathing, sitting. The first stage of the meditation will be cultivating kindness, cultivating metta for ourselves. We'll move on after a few minutes to kindness to a good friend. After a few moments we'll move on to bringing to mind a neutral person, kindness for them, and a difficult person. Be careful who you choose. You don't need to choose a very difficult person, someone who's just we're a bit uncomfortable with at the moment. Then we'll join those four people together, share the metta between them, expanding out to more and more people. And take our time sitting and bringing that to an end. First stage of the metta bhavana. Being with ourselves, opening up to kindness to ourselves. If it helps, we can say, may I be happy, may I be well, may I be free from suffering. letting those words help you, listening for the response from the heart. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. Allowing this practice to be in the body. Moving on to the second stage of the practice. Bringing the same attitude of loving kindness to a good friend. We might experience them as being near us, allowing the heart to open, may they be happy, may they be well, may they be free from suffering. All the while we're breathing, letting the breathing support this practice. May they be happy, may they be well, may they be free from suffering. Moving to the next stage of the practice. Bring to mind someone we don't know very well. Perhaps we don't know their name. Just see them occasionally. A neutral person. Just turning towards them for a few minutes. May they be happy. May they be well. May they be free from suffering. If you find that you've wandered off, well, that's what the mind does. It just takes itself away. When you notice that, come back to the body. Be physically present and breathe. May they be happy. May they be well. May they be free from suffering. And the fourth stage of the practice. We recall a difficult person. It might be someone we're just not getting on too well with at the moment. Perhaps someone who's okay, but something's got a bit unravelled. Again, opening our hearts to them. May they be happy. May they be well. May they be free from suffering. Final stage of this practice. We bring together ourself, friend, neutral person and difficult person as if they're together, and we have a sense of loving kindness towards them all, as if it could be equal, sharing metta, wishing them all well, to be kind, to be free from suffering. Start bringing to mind 2 or 3 more people who are close to you now, 2 or 3 family or friends, extending out a heartfelt wish of kindness, allowing metta to flow further to a few more people, those we know, those a bit further away. People we know, faces we see, further around your area, spreading out through the towns, the villages. Kindness to groups of people that come to mind, the young and the old, poor and the well-off. Just keep the imagination rolling out. And the people that you come across. May we all be happy. May we all be well. May we all be free from suffering. Wherever people are, however far away they are, whatever they're doing, and animals, lands, sea and sky, all sentient beings. Now letting go of the practice, letting go of any effort. A couple of minutes just sitting. No effort, nothing to do. Remembering that we're sitting and breathing. Take your time to come out of the practice. Slowly coming back into the space you're in. Open your eyes. It can take a little while to resurface from meditation. In the meantime, we do have a few minutes if you have any questions. Can be questions on meditation, how that practice went, how your practice sometimes goes, or questions on a taste of freedom, on Vedana, and the experiences you have there. So the best way is to send something in by chat. And Liz will pass anything across to me that it comes up from you.
I always imagine people having a little stretch at this point and then sort of trying to get their brains to be able to ask the question.
That's right.
Time lag as well, isn't there? It's the lag between your speaking and hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking though of the image of a taste of freedom, because it's, I mean, that's kind of such a physical experience, isn't it? Taste, very in the body and palpable. And but there's something about that because it's an inspiring thing, isn't it? You know, the taste of freedom.
Yeah.
But it's like, what does that actually feel like? I mean, I'm sure that would be different for everyone, won't it, as to how you notice that you had a taste of that freedom, or that you were able to do something different. Don't know. There's just something that struck me then at the end of the meditation about how you feel it. What is the taste of freedom?
What is the taste of freedom? Yeah. I mean, as you say, the taste is a physical experience, isn't it? We can sort of imagine tasting apple crumble or whatever it may be. And what is that taste of freedom? And it might be quite a while to really explore that. Because we can certainly think about it. It's a concept. It's quite quickly an idea or a concept. But to have that moment, and it is an exploration. It takes a while to sort of go in a little bit and to explore and to touch on something. And it may come about from that point of noticing when we react. If we always react because of a person or a sound or a feeling, we just react. If we give ourselves that chance not to react, when there's a person and there's a pause, there's a delay. I could react, as I always do, or I could and then I'm free to look or say or feel something a bit different. So it's a sort of taste, but it's an opening up. It's choice. Something else is possible. We can be different. As it were, reacting is just, act, react. We have no choice over it, but freedom is, right, I can still react. And there's more to it. I could say something else. I could be a bit surprised. Oh, what do I do now? I don't have to be bothered or grip onto something. I want that more. I want more of that.
You saying that just made me think of the lotus again.
Okay.
That's sort of like opening up, allowing something else to come into being, isn't it?
Yeah, something else coming into being. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's there. It's not that it doesn't exist, but do we allow it? Yeah. the lotus is there, but there's more. How do we enjoy it?
Got a few comments coming in now.
Right.
Linda says, thank you. I really enjoyed the practice. When we came to expanding metta to all beings, I was working with a moth flying into my face and some second arrow.
Yes. Yes. What was the moth there to give you an extra chance to practice?
That was the teacher. And Sue's sort of responding to what we were just talking about, of saying about interact with it rather than as opposed to act and react. She put a question mark on that, but I think she's answered her own question.
Yeah, interacting is good. It's backwards and forwards. It's not just you've done this to me, so that's bad. It's like, how can I engage with the experience, the pleasure, the unpleasant?
Yeah, and Paul says thank you.
I'm glad you got something from it, Paul. Yeah.
But no other questions at the moment.
I'll try something out. It may be. I don't know if this happened during the meditation, because we had ourself and a good friend and a neutral person and a difficult person. Did we notice pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral during the practice? So when we thought of our friend, was there definitely pleasant? And with the difficult person, was there unpleasant? And if that did happen, did we pull the friend and push the difficult person? Did we have that experience? Was that there?
I can certainly notice that myself with a difficult person.
Okay.
Even though I don't tend to have really difficult people to bring in these days, but still I can notice it's a subtle sort of, I don't want to bring them to mind now, I don't want to experience that.
Okay. Yeah.
And getting past that, which can take time. That's got the taste of freedom about it, certainly. Without second answers.
Good. Yeah. The difficult person definitely has a certain don't want to. They don't deserve it, or it'd be much better to give it to my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, even when I'm choosing a friend, sometimes I think, oh no, I better choose someone else because that friend needs it more.
Okay.
Which, in some way, so I think, oh well, that's not a bad thing. But also, I just think, well, just stick with your choice and give. It doesn't have to be the perfect choice, I suppose.
Okay.
So that doesn't feel like a taste of freedom because I'm just sort of overanalyzing.
Yeah. Well, it's that thing of thinking but not overthinking. We overanalyze, isn't it? That tangles us a little bit. Not quite so straightforward.
Lizzie says she's the same as Maitreyabandhu. As I bring a difficult person to mind, there's that slight feeling of discomfort.
Well, discomfort, yes. I mean, that is this thing of, can we stay with it? If I'm feeling discomfort, I just want to get up and move. It's silly to sit with discomfort, isn't it? Why don't I just get up and move and sit comfortably? But I say, all right, well, how bad is it? How bad is this discomfort? What is the problem exactly? Why am I sitting with discomfort? And can I stay with that difficult person? I'm making myself uncomfortable, actually. They're not doing it. I'm sort of squashing. And with a friend, I open up and I blossom. And I want this for a long time. And then I say, I want to say it's them that's doing it to me, but I have the freedom to open up with that difficult person.
Yeah, there's nothing else coming through at the moment.
Often our reactions need metta themselves, don't they? The first stage, perhaps particularly the fourth stage.
Yeah, okay.
It only comes about through bringing in that attitude to our own experience without getting caught up in the stories.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yes, because it seems natural to react. And then we think, oh, it's bad that I've reacted, but we need patience with our reactivity because it's such a common thing. We've cultivated it so well, so we need patience with our I've come up with a very clever thing. I need to be patient with my impatience, and I need to be kind to my unkindness, and soft with my hardness, because they just happen, don't they? They just happen. So, we don't really want to react, but we do. And it's like, okay, yeah, I've reacted again. I'm bothered by that person again.
Also, a couple of, sorry, interrupting slightly, but I've got a lovely comment from Nicola saying the Buddhist Centre has taught me to send love to all beings, even the difficult person I can now send love and light without feeling discomfort. Thank you for teaching me this.
Well done, Nicola. Well done for taking that on. That's a really rich thing to be able to do. Good for you. It will make a difference.
Yeah. And Lizzie comments that the Maitreyabandhu is so helpful for me in developing more warmth towards people I don't know, transforming the neutral feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about anyone else. I struggle to find a neutral person. Almost anyone I turn to, I sort of think, well, they're okay. I don't know their name or what they do, whether they're okay. Once in a while, they're not so okay. But neutral is a odd category of people. No one's quite neutral, are they? Because I can just say, yeah, they're all right, or I can say, no, and I make them something else. So we are going to have to move on. So don't forget, you can practice this meditation at home. Find a good time and a place, perhaps just 5 minutes to do this. See what you can do when at home, if you find a good place to sit and a good time to do that. Next week, Samudra will be here in front of the camera, and he will be offering us the mirror of meditation. So there's some engagement for us. And we're going to finish with just one last thing, which is our comment on our request for dana. So this course is free. There's no charge for it. You're very welcome to come along anytime as you wish. It helps us to have money coming in. We do need it. Things do cost money. It costs us to run this. The centre is still needing upkeep. I think Liz is going to put a link on where you can go to. You can make a donation there. If you're really heroic, you can make a regular contribution. If you just want to make a donation of whatever works for you, whatever you think you can afford, do that. Don't feel obliged to. There's no cost. Just do what you can. Do come again. Thanks very much for having you, for coming along. It's been lovely to have you. And